North Korea has ended its 5-month pause, launching multiple short-range ballistic missiles. The world was waiting for a sign, and Pyongyang delivered a clear message. Its weapons program is alive and advancing. These launches follow a familiar pattern: provocations timed to maximize global attention. The missiles, launched south of Pyongyang, traveled about 220 miles, but this time, they didn't land in the sea, a detail experts are analyzing. South Korea, Japan, and the United States are on high alert, closely monitoring for further activity. This is the first test since South Korea's President Lee Jae-myung took office, directly challenging his peace agenda. North Korea's goal: build pressure, show strength, and push for sanctions relief. These actions are more than weapons tests, they're political statements. Pyongyang wants to be recognized as a nuclear power and negotiate from a position of strength. The recent pause had sparked hope for diplomacy, but these launches bring the region's tensions back into sharp focus. The Korean peninsula remains a flashpoint, with North Korea ensuring it stays at the center of global security concerns. Every launch is a reminder. North Korea demands to be taken seriously. The regime's economic struggles under sanctions only fuel its urgency. For Kim Jong-un, these provocations are leverage for future talks. The world's response will shape the next chapter on the peninsula. The message is unmistakable: North Korea is not backing down. The stakes for peace and security have never been higher. North Korea's missile launches are no accident. They're timed for maximum impact. The test came just before President Trump's visit to South Korea and the APEC summit, ensuring North Korea dominates the agenda. By acting now, Pyongyang forces world leaders to confront its demands before any talks begin. The launches have triggered a coordinated response. The US, South Korea, and Japan are sharing intelligence and raising military readiness. This trilateral cooperation sends a united message against North Korea's provocations. The world is watching, and the stakes for regional security are rising. North Korea's actions guarantee its nuclear ambitions remain a top concern at every diplomatic table. The tension is deliberate. Pyongyang wants leverage. As leaders gather, North Korea has set a challenging tone for all discussions. The urgency for a peaceful solution is greater than ever. Every move is calculated to keep the world's attention fixed on Pyongyang. The path forward is now more complicated. North Korea's timing ensures it cannot be ignored. Before the missile launches, North Korea staged a massive military parade in Pyongyang. These parades are more than pageantry. They're a show of defiance and power. Thousands of soldiers marched, and new missile systems were unveiled, including an untested intercontinental ballistic missile. The message: North Korea is advancing its nuclear arsenal, undeterred by international pressure. By displaying its latest weapons, Pyongyang seeks recognition as a nuclear power and bargaining strength for future talks. The parade was a performance for both domestic and international audiences, with foreign dignitaries invited to witness North Korea's military might. The regime's strategy is clear: combine military development with diplomatic pressure to force concessions. Sanctions have hurt the economy, but North Korea is betting on its growing threat to gain leverage. The world is meant to see a nation that won't back down. Every weapon on display is a negotiation tool. The parade was a visual warning. North Korea's ambitions are real and growing. Pyongyang wants the world to accept its nuclear status. The stakes for future diplomacy have just been raised. The highlight of the parade was the debut of the Hwasong-20, North Korea's largest and most powerful ICBM yet. Though untested, its sheer size signals a leap in capability, potentially able to carry multiple warheads and reach the US mainland. Kim Jong-un's message is direct. North Korea is a nuclear state that cannot be ignored. The Hwasong-20 is more than hardware, it's a symbol of defiance and ambition. Its appearance complicates any future talks on denuclearization. The missile's presence shows North Korean engineers are advancing despite sanctions. For Pyongyang, this is leverage for negotiations and a warning to adversaries. The world must now contend with a new level of threat. The Hwasong-20 embodies Kim's commitment to his nuclear program. North Korea's ambitions are on full display. The stakes for regional security have never been higher. During the parade, Kim Jong-un called for his military to become an invincible force. He sees nuclear weapons as essential to deterring threats and securing his regime's survival. This vision drives relentless investment in weapons, despite global condemnation and economic hardship. Kim's message is clear: North Korea will not disarm or back down. His rhetoric unifies the country and justifies sacrifices for military strength. For Kim, a powerful military is both a shield and a source of national pride. This stance makes diplomacy difficult and peace elusive. The regime's focus on military might shapes every aspect of North Korean life. Kim's ambition ensures the military remains central to the nation's identity. The world faces a leader determined to secure his rule at any cost. North Korea's path is set, strength above all else. North Korea's missile tests are an early challenge for South Korea's new president, Lee Jae-myung. He must balance a firm response with his promise of dialogue and peace. The launches have also tested the US-South Korea alliance, prompting close military coordination. President Trump's visit to Seoul now carries even greater weight. Japan, also threatened, has joined the US and South Korea in real-time intelligence sharing. This trilateral cooperation is crucial for regional security and sends a strong message to Pyongyang. President Lee faces pressure at home. Some demand toughness, others want engagement. Navigating these divisions and international expectations will define his leadership. North Korea's actions have complicated his path to peace. The world is watching how he responds. His choices now will shape the future of the Korean peninsula. The stakes for diplomacy and security are immense. Lee's response could determine whether peace is possible. North Korea's latest launches have made denuclearization talks even more uncertain. The stalled negotiations since 2019 show little sign of progress. Pyongyang appears determined to strengthen its nuclear position before any talks resume. Its main goal, be accepted as a nuclear state, and negotiate sanctions relief. Kim Jong-un hints at talks, but only if the US drops its demand for full denuclearization, a non-starter for Washington. The international community faces a tough choice: increase pressure or seek new diplomatic approaches. The stakes for peace are higher than ever, but the path forward is unclear. The cycle of provocation and tension continues. Without compromise, the stalemate will persist. The dream of a peaceful, nuclear-free Korean peninsula remains distant. For now, uncertainty and risk define the region's future.